So heading now into the third game, it might actually be the final one if Polt is able to take this game too. We see Snute starting to the top left of Star Station, and starting to the bottom right we have Polt with a 2-0 lead already. And Snute said that in the last game he thinks he played really bad, that I mean his words were he played like shit. And he is not too happy with it. He says that he has a little bit of a delay playing from Korea on the North American server here. Didn't want to blame it on that, but he was not happy with his performance just in general. That's one of the things that is always amazing about Snute, that he's very honest about his performance and about his play. He will always tell you when he thinks that he underperformed. And when this is one of the things why I really enjoy his stream. He streams on Twitch TV as well. So if you're watching this VOD right now on YouTube and you want to catch him stream live, then go to Twitch TV. I think his Twitch TV ID is Liquid Snute. So the ID would then twitch.tv/LiquidSnute, and you can always follow myself at Twitch too if you want to get notifications about me streaming live. It's twitch.tv/Khaldor. And yeah, it's just something that I really appreciate in a player when he's honest in the things that he does wrong. There are very few players out there that will actually show the backbone to admit right out if they made a mistake. And if when Snute analyzes his play, it's actually really I like it. It's very interesting, and it teaches you quite a lot. 4 o'clock in Korea right now, 4 AM to be exact, for Snute and myself. Polt, living in the US, has a bit of a better time zone here. And let's see how Polt is gonna fare in the second game. And also, what Snute is gonna do in game number 3. I mean, is the guy gonna mix it up, or will we just see him go for the same style once again, and trying to just play better overall, but not trying to play a different style that might be better suited to face a Terran player like Polt? This is now one of the things where the psychological effect comes into play. Snute being down 2 games has to win here. He has to win 3 games in a row if he wants to win the finals here. If he loses another map, then he is out, which also means that Polt has 3 chances to win the entire tournament now. And with this added pressure, I'm not quite sure if Snute is now able to make this happen. There are just a few subtle things that now work against him. This little bit of lag that he has onto the North American server, the time that we have here for Polt with being, sorry for Snute with it being 4 AM in Korea, and yeah, Polt being 2-0 in the series. At the same time, one of the things that I also want to point out here is that this is a situation that Polt found himself in several times in the past. Many a time he was winning tournaments even on the European server where he had a lot of lag, where he was playing the entire night, day after day. So Polt really a machine, and he's an amazing player. We've seen this in the last 2 games, that he played an incredible series against his opponent. His macro game is exceptional, his decision making is out of this world, and he is such a strong opponent to face that it's very tough for an opponent, and you have to play on your best if you want to beat Polt. Polt now once again with a Reaper build, scouting what is going on, and at the bottom right of the map we have him with a command center that he's currently building, also of course the factory and the added reactor. So he's just relying on what he did in the last few games, getting a little bit of a faster command center here, the third one that is, but playing a very normal style. What you would expect. It worked like a charm in game number 1, number 2. Why change anything? There's no reason to change anything at all at this point in time. What he does works. So that's something that he can do. Double gas at roughly 5:30 once again for Snute. 1 at the natural, 1 in the main base. Now have the Reapers just trying to get as much scouting information as he possibly can. Trying to pull this off. And let's see if that's actually going to work. In the natural, there's still mining going on. Polt, did he see the second gas? No, he doesn't know about gas number 2. Additional overlords are now being built here for Snute. Not getting any kind of tech. Like nothing. There we have the 100 gas for him. Most likely going to be a lair. Yes, 630 lair once again. Lair before speed. Adding the gas number 3 and number 4. And also, once again, the double evolution chamber. At least the first one it is. Probably gonna drop the second one in just a few seconds. Roachburn instead. And there's the double evolution chamber. So, the same style that we've seen out of Snute, also in this game. And I want to remind you, I mean, this looks pretty grim for Snute so far in the best of 5, but Snute played an amazing tournament, defeated a lot of strong opponents. One of the players that he faced was Root Sage in the last best of 3, that he defeated with a 2-1. But right now, against Polt, Polt is really showing Snute his limits, at least for the day. The Roach one is not done just yet, and with the Reaper and the Hellions, they are doing a fair amount of damage here at the Evolution Chamber, and if he's unlucky, he might lose the Evolution Chamber and then lose the Crown Carapace upgrade. That's why he cancels the Evolution Chamber that would consume the Fall Wall off and moves out with the Queen. +1/+1, this time not for the Roaches, but for the melee units. So we will see him heading into a more Baneling and Ling heavy composition. Maybe even see the Mutalisks later on that he did not get in the last few games, but he's not going to go into this Roach timing that he for a shorter period of time attempted to execute in game number 2. Polt is the good thing about Polt is he kills another creep tumor, and just look at the creep spread for Snute, non-existence. Nearly 9 minutes into the game, there is no creep spread whatsoever, and this must be very frustrating here for Snute. Creep is something that is very important for Zergs. But we have a bit of an attempt to go down into a Nidus network. Alright, one Overseer to the right. Nidus network over here. There is nothing that Polt has. No supply depot. Uh-oh. And he doesn't know. He doesn't scan. He didn't see this. Where's the Nidus? What does he see? He sees nothing. At least not the Nidus network. Where is it? Is it hidden? I actually don't know. Ah, over here. Not spotted by Polt, at least not to my knowledge. Let me double check that. No, he doesn't know. And the Overseer is already in position. Here we go. He's going for the Nidus here. Oh my god, Polt. Oh god, he sees it. Polt sees it. Does he realize it though? Does he see it on the minimap? Or how occupied is he with this aggression? He doesn't really spot it. He sees it, it's on his minimap, but he is not able to stop it. Here come the Queen, here come the pain, here have the second Nidus being built, and Polt is looking at this, and he has one of those fuck my life moments, where you're just like, why did I not spot this? The Queens are here, they could even drop a few creep tumors, they actually should. Roaches are everywhere, and Polt is losing a lot. Roaches in his mineral line, Polt trying to defend, but this is going to be very, very tough, if not impossible. Roaches are trying to make this happen. The Widow Mines at the front with decent hits. The Roaches trying to go deep here. And Polt is actually holding so far decent-ish, but now he's going to lose the engineering. Oh, he's not sniping them. Yeah, he's going to lose the upgrade. He's not getting it. And there are just so many Roaches that it looks it looks impossible, undefeatable. That's an army that he cannot take down. At least he shouldn't be able to take this down. The production buildings are going to be eliminated. Snute is on 3 bases. He has a massive supply lead right now. And this, yeah, even with the Widow Mines, it doesn't look good. Creep tumors have been placed down. And Snute is actually just going to move back. +1 armor upgrade, that's all that's done. He's moving down to the base. He has so many Nidus networks everywhere, 3 in total. He's just bouncing between the bases. This is the blink that the Roaches already wanted to have against Stalkers. This is what he has. He can bounce between the high ground and the low ground. Do the damage. Really well done here. Good build by Snute. But Polt so far, I mean, what did he lose here? He lost 18 Harvesters. He takes down the Nidus networks now. Takes down both of them. Still the vision on the high ground. The base is not gonna die. He can repair this orbital command, but he has to send an SCV over. But can Polt hold? He's 30 supply behind his opponent. Army supply is 30 against 28. He's only 10 behind. Worker count is still alright. Polt is not necessarily out of this, but if he loses the command center, that would be a different story, and I cannot believe that he doesn't repair it. Wow, last second, that couldn't have been closer. And Polt holds. Guys, it might sound a little bit silly, but Polt is not out of this. Polt has not lost this. Polt has not lost this game. He's behind. Yes, of course he's behind. He's very much behind. He's up against an opponent that goes into +2/+2, goes into the infestation pit. But Polt has bounced back from crazy positions, and he is going to fight. He fought against Tails, and he nearly pulled it off, and he will fight against Snute. Resources lost is even. Polt losing a little bit more. The question for Polt is, can he make those 3 orbitals work in his favor so that he can bounce back in this game? He needs the engineering base. He lost both. How many medivacs does he have? 3. 3 medivacs, completing combat shield, getting more units out there, going into the engineering base right now. Alright, Polt is moving out. He's trying to do some aggression here. And he has a lot of army supply, 54. Snute is supply blocked, losing another overlord here to the Viking. 3 have been taken out. Viking is still trying to kill a few more. And this 4th base, this is what Polt is trying to kill now. This is what he's trying to kill, but he has to see it first. Doesn't know about it just yet. Here come the armies. He needs to start borrowing those Widow Mines. The burrow is not there just yet. Widow Mines are there. Oh! That could have been worse. Losing only a few. Polt with 105 supply going for the stutter step. Has a few units still in the medivac. Moving away. But all of the Widow Mine cooldowns have been triggered already. And he's going to lose every single one of them. Not a good position for Polt to be in. Now it's kind of over. He can't take the 4th down. He will not be able to save his 3rd. At least he shouldn't be able to do it. This is Snoot's game to lose. With a good Widow Mines hits, a very good spread with the Widow Mines, and really good coverage, he might have been able to win the fight and take down the 4th. And then he might be able to bounce back. But with a 50 supply deficit now, going down, catching reinforcement, moving towards the 3rd base of his opponent, this is very unlikely to happen. +2/+2 is done for Snute. Polt doesn't even have 1/1. He's getting the armory now so that he can start with the upgrades. But this 3rd base is not going to start mining. I'm sorry, Polt, but this is not going to happen. All the mules that he just now dropped are going to be eliminated. Every single one of them. They are not going to be able to mine at all. A lot of energy wasted. Yes, the 4th is down now, but this is something that Snute just said, like, okay, it's fine. He's dropping a Nidus at the front once again. Is he trying to bust through here? He could pull it off. He has double the supply of his opponent now. And just checking here the army supply. It's 104 against 61 with better upgrades and better tech. So this should be like a no-brainer game now. Here comes the speed for the Banelings just kicking in. Polt sticking around with the medivacs here, but he does not have a lot of units that he can drop. It's going to be a double drop, if anything. And with this added spore crawlers, it's going to be difficult for Polt to make it happen. He's actually trying to go towards the 4th base, whereas Snute is now on his way to the bottom left. It looks like Snute will be able to just get at least 1 win against Polt and start his comeback. He needs 3 wins in a row if he wants to pull that off. Maybe he can do it. We're gonna find out. But for now, yeah, Polt is fighting an impossible battle. As much as I like his resilience and I'm cheering for the underdog, at this game at least, this is a match where Polt has just to cut his losses and be like, okay, this is not the game that I'm going to win. I have to go through a 4th game at least. Here comes Snute. This is going to be the last battle. He busts through, taking down supply depots everywhere, taking down Marines, and this is the GG as Polt takes a loss. Snute with a win in game number 3 in this best of 5 has his chance to equalize the score in game number 4. We are going straight into the 4th game now here at the ZOTAC Cup Monthly Final.